We are going to investigate integer division. First, let's see what happens when we try to divide integers and print it immediately. Let's do 9 divided by 3. And run. We get 3. 9 divided by 3 is 3. Excellent. Let's try another number. 12 divided by 3. 12 divided by 3 is 4. Excellent. Let's try 10 divided by 3. Should be somewhere between 3 and 4 for the answer. Oh wait, it only gave us 3. So Java knows that we've inputted an integer type divided by an integer type. So it outputs an integer type. If we want to adjust the type here, maybe we can try something like this. That works. So notice that we did a typecast. We typecasted this. Now I think if we put brackets around, it might affect it differently. Okay, did you see that? So in this situation, it tells Java do integer 10 divided by integer 3, get an integer, that's 3, and then make it a double, 3.0. Without the brackets, it's reading it as the double 10 is divided by 3. So it's already working with a double. And when it divides it by 3, it'll treat the final answer as a double. If we want to play with the primitive data type a little bit more, let's do it above, make some variables, and see what's happening. So say we have an integer I, and it equals 10, and an integer j, and it equals 3. We want to do the division. And let's print integer d, which is integer divided by an integer. What do you expect to get here? Whoops. So sometimes you get an error. Let's see what the error message says. Can you see the mistake I made? Maybe you can see it, maybe you can't. Maybe the error message will help. Oh, I didn't it anyway. But really it should have a semicolon here. And I don't think that's going to change anything. So we wrote out a lot more work, and we still got an integer divided by an integer. Gives us an integer. If we want to start using a double to get a little bit more decimal places, let's try this. 3.0. That's not the number we want for 10 divided by 3. Again, this is doing an integer divided by an integer. So it's doing 10 divided by 3, giving an integer answer 3, and then it's making it a double. So then it's adding 0.0. But that's not really what we want, is it? If we want the proper decimal places, then we would need a double divided by a double equals a double. Let's see what happens if we just make one thing a double. So it's enough that one of the variables was a double. It's now doing a double divided by an integer, and it's going to return a double immediately. So in this case, we get the decimal places correctly. Will it make any difference if we make this a double? It does not in this case. Okay? So you have to be very careful with integer division. You might think that if you have an integer divided by an integer and you call it a double, you might think that you're going to get an accurate answer. But as we saw before, we won't